You want to know the secret to attracting women? Stop chasing. Stop performing. Stop proving. The most attractive men are the ones who don't need to be. Most men today are trapped in a cycle of overcompensation. They think attraction is about doing more, texting more, trying harder, being flashier. But the truth? The more you try, the less power you hold. In a world that teaches men to chase, Stoic men pull back. They understand. True attraction isn't earned through effort. It's revealed through presence. This isn't just about dating, it's about becoming the kind of man who naturally commands attention without saying a word. Let's break this down. Number 5. Let her experience the uncertainty of your attention. When you really like a woman, your instinct is to lean in hard, to give her your time, your energy, your attention like it's some badge of honor. You answer texts immediately. You hang on her every word. You offer your focus like it's proof of your sincerity. But here's the truth most men avoid. When your attention is too easy to get, it loses all its value. What you think is genuine interest often reads as emotional hunger. And hunger is not attractive, it signals lack. In contrast, a man who doesn't rush to prove himself, he moves with stillness. He listens without gripping. He looks away without guilt. Not because he's playing games, but because he's not afraid to keep his center. That calm shift in energy makes her wonder. It creates tension, not drama, but mystery. And mystery, when paired with grounded masculinity, is irresistible. Yet most men can't do this. Not because they don't want to, but because their need to be chosen overrides their ability to be still. They confuse reaction with connection. But understand this, your presence is a gift, not a plea. Don't trade your self-respect for temporary validation. Let her feel the quiet strength of a man who doesn't chase what he doesn't need. Because in that silence, in that control, she begins to feel the pull. And that's the Stoic way. Master yourself first. The world will follow. Number 4. Carry the energy of a man who's already chosen. But there's a quiet power in a man who seems already chosen. Not loud, not arrogant, just complete. You don't have to be in a relationship to radiate that energy. You just need to. Stop acting like someone who's waiting to be picked. Most men don't get this. They walk into a room scanning for validation, hoping a glance or a smile will tell them they're enough. They dress, speak, and move like they're auditioning for approval. And when that approval doesn't come, they feel small, rejected, unseen. But the man who has chosen himself, he doesn't play that game. He doesn't wait for permission to feel valuable. His energy says, I've already been claimed by my own standards, by my purpose, by the life I'm building. And women notice that, not because he's avoiding them, but because he's not chasing them. He's not trying to be chosen. He is the choice. That's the shift. And yes, it's hard, especially when your heart wants connection, when you still crave that look from her that says you're enough. But a Stoic man doesn't move from craving. He moves from clarity. And clarity tells you this: you are not here to be picked. You're here to build, to lead, to live in alignment with who you choose to be. When you master that, when you stop begging the world to see your worth and start living like you already own it, then silence becomes your strength. And the world, including women, begins to lean in. Number 3, don't perform. Exist. That you've probably seen it before. A man steps into a room and instantly starts performing. Louder voice, exaggerated laughter, constant glances around to see who's paying attention. He wants to be noticed, so he puts on a show. But the more he tries, the more invisible he becomes. People sense the need behind his actions. And need, in any form, weakens a man's presence. Contrast that with the man who doesn't need the room. He's not louder than necessary. He's not scanning for approval. He's not desperate to fill silence. He's simply there, anchored in himself. His body language is relaxed, his eyes calm, his energy still. And because he's not seeking attention, he receives it. This kind of presence isn't loud. It's felt. It's the quiet confidence of a man who knows himself and doesn't need to advertise it. The problem is, most men avoid becoming this man because the process is uncomfortable. It requires solitude. It forces you to detach from your craving to be liked. And that's painful if you've built your identity around being seen. But that's where power lives. You don't become magnetic by proving something. You become magnetic when you stop needing to. The Stoic understands this. The more you control your presence, the less you have to explain it. Confidence doesn't shout, it stands still. It doesn't demand, it commands. So next time you walk into a room, don't perform. Own your silence. That's real power. Number 2, stay relaxed in the face of female energy. You're in line at the store. You feel her glance once, maybe twice, and your mind, without permission, starts racing. You wonder if it means something. You debate making a move. You feel the familiar urge to do something, to react, to prove, to perform. But pause here. That's not strength. That's programming. Most men have been trained to respond instantly to female attention, to treat it as rare and valuable, as if being noticed is the goal. But the Stoic man knows better. He doesn't turn a glance into a fantasy or a passing moment into a mission. He sees it, sure. He may even return it. Calm, measured, steady. But he doesn't break his frame. He doesn't start performing like a man who's desperate for recognition. Why? Because a grounded man isn't waiting to be chosen. He's already chosen himself. Most men ignore this truth because they crave connection more than they crave control. They'd rather be liked than respected. But you are training for something higher. You don't chase meaning in every look. You don't need confirmation to feel valid. Her glance isn't a command, it's just a moment. And the way you hold yourself in that moment says everything. You are not shaken. You are not rushed. And if it's meant to unfold, it will, without force. This is the essence of Stoic masculinity. Observe without reacting, lead with silence, and never let your value depend on the attention of others. Number 1, lead with boundaries, not approval. Most men lead with agreement, always smiling, nodding, and going along with whatever makes others comfortable. They avoid rocking the boat because they want to be liked, craving approval like it's a lifeline. But here's the hard truth. Trying to be liked makes you invisible. It blends you into the background, a man without edges or presence. Women don't seek approval. They're drawn to men who stand firm, who lead with boundaries. Instead of bending to fit every expectation, saying no without hesitation, holding your values steady even when it's unpopular. That's strength, not stubbornness. It's not about being rude or harsh. It's about defining what you accept in your life and refusing to lower your standards for anyone's comfort. Yet most men ignore this, often out of fear or a misplaced desire for love, convincing themselves that being agreeable will win the day. But in truth, softness invites disregard. When you hold your ground calmly, without drama or apology, you communicate self-respect and control. And that presence is magnetic. The Stoic way teaches us that true power lies in this silence, in the quiet confidence of a man who does not chase approval but commands it by simply being himself. Control your desire to be liked, and instead, lead with the authority of your values, because respect is earned in the space where words fall silent. Conclusion: that here's the hard truth few men want to face. Chasing women will never bring you lasting success or peace. Most guys waste their energy trying to impress, to win approval, to be liked, and in doing so, they lose themselves. You don't win by bending to desire or acting out of need. You win by chasing something far greater: excellence. Excellence in how you carry yourself, how you master your mind, how you control your emotions. Becoming a man whose energy is rare, self-contained, grounded, calm under pressure is the real magnet. When you embody this, you don't have to prove you're attractive. Your presence does that silently, effortlessly. Yet most men ignore this because they confuse chasing with living and they mistake need for love. But you see, confidence is not an act or a mask. It is the quiet assurance that you are enough, regardless of external validation. Approval is a currency for the weak. Respect is earned through discipline and integrity. So instead of speaking loudly to convince others, cultivate the strength to remain silent and steady. In that silence, you command true power. Remember the Stoic wisdom. Control what you can, your thoughts, your actions, and accept with grace what you cannot. This is the path not just to attraction, but to freedom. Stay grounded, stay disciplined, stay stoic,